Hi Team Sparkle. So I absolutely wanted to share our amazing spring soiree last night here in South Florida. We did an amazing time of checking out the jewelry, having fun with the jewelry, playing with it. I heard lots of people say things like, wow, this is so much sparklier or so much better quality than you can even tell in the lookbook. So I'm so excited. Some of you had some prospects there and I hope that they pan out for you. But for those of you that couldn't come, I wanted to share a little bit about our booking time that we had where we talked about 3 steps for booking success. I want to tell you, January, we're all kind of having a hard time. But instead of thinking, oh, my January is just not where it wants to be, I'll worry about it in February, let's get something else on the calendar. If you can just get 1 or 2 shows in January, that will help you at each one of those shows. You could book more for February. So one of the things we talked about last night is if you can get 2 shows in January, and at each of those shows commit to getting 2 more shows, you're going to have 4 shows in February. If you get 4 shows in February and you talk to everybody at all those shows about having a show, you will get 4 more in March. So at that point, by the time March ends, you'll have made $6,000. I mean, honestly, that is, or $6,000 in sales, which is pretty amazing. That's a low end number. So really, honestly, like just try. That's all you have to do. I know January's creeping up, the end is getting close, and we all feel like, oh, our calendar's not where we want it to be. So let's go over these 3 steps for booking success and figure out how you can get your January where you want it to be. What would help you have a little bit less stress and maybe be able to purchase a couple more extra pieces that maybe you didn't get to purchase when we first got the half off. If you can get 1 more booking on your calendar, I bet you'll feel better about ordering a couple more things before January 22nd half off ends. So 3 steps to booking success. Number 1, start with a list. And I always start with just doing 24 names. Sometimes I get overwhelmed if I think about too much. So start with a list. 24 people that you know that you haven't been able to reach out to. Who would they be? Past hostesses. I listed everyone who's a past hostess within the past who hasn't hosted with me in the last 2 months. So I didn't pick anybody from November and December, but anybody before that I put on the list. You can actually look also when you go to view orders on the left-hand side of your screen. You can click on your customers who have made the highest purchases, the highest purchased customers. And I actually, those were the other names I put on my list. So I put past hostesses, high sales customers. I also put people who had maybe mentioned over the last 6 months they wanted to have a show but haven't had a show yet. And anybody that I met at shows that seemed like they were maybe interested. I put those on the list as well. But I also thought about some other people, like my kids' teachers, who are always talking about the jewelry whenever I walk into the school. I've given them lots of pieces, and now they've been wearing them since I gave it to them at the holidays, and I'm curious to see if they would want to have their own show. I also thought about some people who maybe I want to know. Instead of a who do you know list, why don't you think about some people that you want to know? I want to know who the president of the Junior League is now here in Fort Lauderdale. Haven't done anything with them in a while. I want to know who the biggest mommy blogger is in this area. So I'm going to research that, find that out, and reach out to that person. So I start off with those names, and I want to, number 1, make my list. Number 2 step in booking success is to warm up that contact. There's a couple different ways you can warm up a contact. One way that you can warm up a contact is to send them a lookbook, which is a great idea. We know that it costs about $2.68 to send out that lookbook, but don't just send it out and never put on your calendar when to call. You need to call within 5 to 7 days or else you've lost that prospect. The reason is they get it in the mail, they're excited looking through it, nobody gives them a call, they kind of forget about it. Might even go in the trash. You don't want that to happen. Because even if they end up not having a show with you, you want to let them know you want them to pass along that book to somebody else. So one way, send a lookbook. Another way is to send them an email of maybe the fashion show or some pieces that you think they would absolutely love from the new line. Third way is maybe you're going to see that person in person, face to face. Like I know there's a couple girls at the gym that always make comments about my jewelry. So I'm going to make sure that I see them face to face and hand them a lookbook and talk to them in person. So however you're going to warm them up, warm them up. So we're making a big list, we're warming them up, and step number 3, we're following up. You've got to put it on your calendar. Whether it's on the phone, which a lot of us are like, ugh, we hate the phone. Do it. I know you can do it. Give yourself a little something for getting on that phone. Get out there, get on the phone, meet people face to face if you need to. Whatever you need to do, make sure you follow up, or else you just spent $2.68 to get that lookbook out there or the time and energy to get out the email, but you never followed up with the call. I can promise you success rate. I've had to call a lot of people this month. I'm keeping a tally sheet. I've called 68 people myself that I've actually gotten in touch with, and out of those 68, I have 4 trunk shows on my calendar. When I came back from Dallas, I had 0. After calling those people, I have 4, and I feel very confident about about that with 1 in February. So 5 total. And I'm really excited to push myself at each one of these trunk shows to make sure that I get everything, every single one of those shows, that I get a booking for February as well, or March. So get on the phone and do that. I know sometimes it's not fun and it's not easy, but you will be so thankful you did, and it feels so good when you've accomplished it. So really quick, let's go over what you will say when you call. You want to make sure that you interact with the person, that you engage them. So something quick like, hey, Suzanne, have you had a chance to look through that lookbook I sent you in the mail? What do you think? Let her tell you. Oh, I love that Campari necklace too. It's so beautiful. That red will look so nice on you. You have such great style, and with this new lookbook, I'm trying to still figure out what I would wear with it. What would you wear with that here now? And what would you wear with it in the summer? Oh, I love those ideas. Thank you so much. And like, what kind of jewelry would you put it with it? What bracelets, what earrings? Do you see anything else in the book or something you have at home that you pair with it? I have the best idea. I don't know if I told you this, but you get an extra $50 for hosting in the month of January, and I want to get you those pieces for free. Let's invite some girlfriends to come over next week, throw a block of cheese out on the counter and some wine, and let's just have a really fun girls' night. What do you think? And talk to them about why it's not a big deal to have a show within a week, because your friends know if they're busy on Tuesday next week or if they're busy a month from now. You know if you have a meeting, you know if you have karate, you know if you have baseball, doesn't matter. Let's just get the show going. And those that can't come, that's okay. They can order online. They're going to love the jewelry when they see it online. And if you don't have a show the night before, offer that hostess to set up the night before. So if any of her friends want to swing by during the day, right after school maybe, or the night before, or her neighbors, she's more than welcome to have an open shop where she'll have order forms out for people to take their orders. So I hope this helps. I want to challenge you. I loved how a couple of you really went out there and did it and got this new planner that I offered. I have 3 more left. I would love to give them away to the first 3 people who book one more show in January. These are so nice. They have a nice hardcover. The new planners are beautiful. So I can't wait to see who's going to win it. Bye.